What's up everybody? Now today we're going to be talking about how to carb count. Now let's be honest, it's 2019. There is so much technology. There's a lot of apps that can help you track your carbs on a daily and consistent fashion. Now before we get into it, now let me say this. 15 grams of carbs equals 1 serving. So when you're buying food with a label on it, you can actually turn it around and look at the nutritional list and it actually tell you how many carbs is in that package. Now like I said, since 15 carbs equal 1 serving, let's say a package has about 75 carbs in it, which is actually a lot. Now 75 carbs divided by 15 will actually equal out to be about 5 servings. Now let's say you buy food that don't have a nutritional list on it that tell you how many carbs is in it. Perfect example, let's say you're buying fruit, let's say you're buying vegetables. The ones you actually have to bag, not the frozen or the canned vegetables, but actually raw food. You need to actually keep track of your carbs. But like I said, buying this food didn't come with a nutritional list to actually hold the number of carbs actually in that produce. You could do two things. You can either go to the internet and look it up, or you could do what I used to do. I use an app called My Plate. You can literally track everything from your proteins to your fats to your carbs. You know, when you see a lot of people who actually into fitness on Instagram, they actually use apps like My Plate, Fitness Pal to actually keep track of their macros. Now me personally, I don't keep track of my carbs because I really don't eat very many carbs outside of my meals, and I only eat about twice a day. Plus I may snack either right before I eat my first meal or right before I eat my second meal. But literally my consumption is actually lower than what it used to be when I wasn't fasting. Like I said, you bought fruit, you bought vegetables, and you need to know how many carbs is in one piece of fruit. What you do is you can actually use this app. Sorry, it's been a while since I used it myself. And actually give you options to choose from when you actually log in this stuff in. So you can use breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. So we just gonna start with breakfast. Now like I said, you just want to know the carbs that's in your food. You don't want to know the protein, you don't want to know the fat. So let's say you just ate 2 apples. Now I'm going to ask you what kind, pretty much what brand of apple you ate. Now when I did use this, I would actually use the brand, or I would just give it a rough estimate. But today we're just going to use a brand. So let's say you ate Macintosh apples. You still have options to choose from. So pretty much which brand, where they came from, or what farm they came from. So we're just going to say we use Wellesley Farms. Now as of today, let's say you ate 2 apples. 1 apple itself equals 22 grams. So if you ate 2 of them, that means you would have ate 44 grams of carbs in just those 2 apples, which is cool. You know, it's natural sugar, so you know your blood sugar won't spike fast from it. This is not processed food, processed sugar, or table sugar. Everything we talk about right now is natural food. So okay, now we're gonna go out of that. Now let's say you ate a full breakfast and you actually want to know what the carbs was in it. You know what, we're gonna make this a little interesting. Let's say you at the Waffle House. So you had 2 eggs there. So the 2 eggs itself is about 64 grams. So with those 2 eggs, let's say you had, we're gonna stay healthy. So let's say you had a bowl of fruit with it. You know what, we're gonna make it even simpler. Let's say you had those 2 apples with it. Macintosh apple, which is 44 grams because 1 apple is 22 grams. Now let's say you've been ultra healthy like me. I don't eat bread, I don't eat toast when I go out and actually have. Well, it'll be more like brunch because my first meal is at 4 p.m. But I don't have toast when I actually go out and order breakfast food. So I switched that over to something else like broccoli. Okay, let me say this. Now this won't be 100% accurate as far as the place that the food comes from, because these are not accurate by establishment, but these are accurate by the type of foods that we're using. So for the steamed broccoli, which is your third part of the meal with your apples, steamed broccoli is actually 6 grams of carbs. Now what it's going to do is it's going to give you a full readout from your proteins to your fats to your carbs. But we just worry about the carbs. Just from breakfast alone, 2 eggs, 2 apples, steamed broccoli, you consume 92 grams of carbs. That's cool though, because like I said, even with eggs, you know, these carbs you're consuming is actually natural sugars, natural fuel that your body needs to function, natural energy. You are not consuming junk food. You are not consuming pizza every day. You're not consuming ice cream every day. So for your carbs to be this high because of natural carbs, natural sugar, it's okay. Your blood sugar will not spike that high. Now let's use another example. Let's say you're doing lunch. You're clicking on lunch. So what's a good thing for lunch? So you're gonna say chicken breast. 1 chicken breast. 26 grams of carbs alone just for that. Let's say you had asparagus with that. 2 grams of carbs. Now let's say for the heck of it, just for some sweetness, you add another apple with that. The reason I'm using apple so much because this is exactly what I do. I eat an apple almost every meal. So for lunch, Lunch alone, like I said, we're not worried about the macros, we're not worried about the fats. For lunch alone, you consumed about 50 grams of carbs. See guys, that's how easy it is right now in 2019 for you to actually track your carbs. It's so easy nowadays for us to count our carbs. That way we can know exactly what we're consuming. And as diabetics, it's especially important because carbs are our friends, but at the same time could be our enemies depending on which carbs we're eating. So before I end the video, we're gonna go into my workout video from the gym. So let's get into it. What's up everybody? Now today I'm planning to hit shoulders. Alright guys, now first we're going to start off with side lat raises. So we're going to get right into it. Okay guys, so the next workout we're going to get into is actually front delt raises. Now I'm going to grab a dumbbell and actually hold it on both sides, then lift it up. Some people like to do their front delt raises unilateral, but I like to do mine bilateral at times. So I'm getting to it and show you what it looks like. Let's go. Okay guys, so the next workout we're going to get into is actually shoulder shrugs. So I'm just going to grab a pair of dumbbells, and then you actually see how I perform that exercise. Now let's get into it. Okay guys, so right now I'm about to work on our rear delts. Now with this exercise I used to keep it light. Because this way I can actually focus on my rear delts and not bring in other parts of my shoulders or even my traps. So let's get into it. Okay guys, now the last workout in my routine is actually going to be shoulder press. I'm actually going to do the standing. Now when I do the standing, I really don't go as heavy with dumbbells because since you don't have no support by sitting down, it makes the weight feel different. So by standing, you can't really go as heavy as you usually would while sitting down. So I'm just going to grab a pair of 30-pound dumbbells. We're going to get right into it. Okay guys, that's all I got for today. So make sure you leave a like, you leave a comment, you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I make these videos. And if you have a question, leave a comment. Talk to you soon. Peace.